Just a reminder from your friendly neighborhood metalhead, if you like what you see, don't forget to click like and subscribe to the Heavy Underground. New York's influential noise rock trio Unsane took over Club Cafe in Pittsburgh's South Side drinking district on July 12, 2018. Led by founding member Chris Spencer on guitar and vocals, the band maintains a solid rhythmic churn with Spencer's longtime bandmates Dave Caron on bass and Vincent Signorelli handling the drums. With Detroit's noise-inflected punks Childbite along for the ride, local support from Pittsburgh's Microwaves opened the show, as Unsane brought their perennially imitated but never duplicated angular noise-inflected scrape to the Steel City on this special short-term run of shows. Though having arrived late, local miscreants Microwaves have already taken the stage and departed. However, the acclamatory praise from Childbite's Sean Knight several times during his band's set would indicate a commendable band that should necessitate an earlier arrival. With a methodical drum flurry from Shane Hochstetler and Jeremy Wan's warbled guitar theatrics providing a schizophrenic outbreak, Detroit's Childbite settle in for a barrage of skewed riffs and fervent sonic insanity, opening with Stag Thrall from 2017's split with stunning Childbite Rip for the Jugular from the Go. A patented Dead Kennedys treble chimes in from Wan's manic guitar. Up next on the chopping block is Garbage Odyssey from the band's 2014 EP Strange Waste. A clattering harangue of neck-twisting riffs and sharply warbled vocals, Garbage Odyssey takes little time to run its vociferous course before the band quickly transitions, with Sean Knight practicing some Gibby Haynes-inspired vocal manipulation over Sean Clancy's gurgling bass and Shane's splattering drums. Throughout the night, sampled and distorted vocals continuously pour from the PA as the band's feverish frontman manipulates the sonic undercurrent throughout the show with an array of samplers and modulators, careening into abysmal splatter from Vision Crime's Monomania. Pulsing bass and a relatively straightforward pre-chorus continue to obliterate any preconceived notions before a cascade of chirping guitar ushers in a repetitive battering as Abysmal Splatter nears its end. Powering from the close of Abysmal Splatter, a bouncy two-note riff ushers in Ancestral Ooze from Strange Waste. Ancestral Ooze boasts a hard-charging pre-chorus that only intensifies through the chorus. A squirrely interlude nestles deep in the brain before a spate of rollicking lead work nearing the end of the song initiates the final crushing moments of Ancestral Ooze. Throughout the night, the band constructs glaciers of screaming noise that only build to frantic moments of sideshow insanity. Sean Knight playing the demented carnival barker while his bandmates swirl around him in manic glee. Acknowledging that he has the, quote, good words, Sean Knight thanks local openers Microwaves and calls out the crowd for probably the coolest show on the tour. Additionally, Sean expresses his band's sincere appreciation for Unsane and their sincere honor for another chance to tour with these New York legends. Switching into the next song, the understated inquisition of Death Before Dementia methodically surges throughout the duration, while quickly winding between washes of rising swells and bombastic atonal carnage. As the eclectic harshness of 2016's Death Before Dementia squalls and rages to a close, Throb Forever quickly follows. Dedicated as a song for all the junkies, a splattering bass opening from Sean Clancy presages a tempestuous guitar tirade from Jeremy Wan. Primal force underlies the vicious and barreling fury of Throb Forever, recently excavated for the band's two-disc rarities compilation Burnt Offerings. A haunting guitar solo rises from the throbbing musical assault before Throb Forever powers to a fleet-footed close. Throughout the band's set, Sean Clancy's energetic bass provides a fixed focal point for the band's raving sonic lunacy, a pole star to guide the band's caterwauling vortex of Sean Knight's deranged vocals, Shane Hochstetler's careening drums, and Jeremy Wan's warped atonal guitar runs. A clean, spidery guitar refrain emanates from Wan, rising up from underneath some stage banter from Sean Knight before the bludgeoning reality of video blood manhandles the assembled crowd. Punishing chugs and ear-splitting discord alternate to disorient the listener on this 2016 track from the band's Negative Noise release. Warbling guitar atmospherics and persistent rhythmic battery take control as Video Blood pummels with increasing vitriol and vehemence. Returning to the spindly, clean-toned repetition, Sean Knight exalts the crowd before introducing the next song with the addition of a guitar slide for the benefit of any white trash individuals in attendance. The Will to Disappear begins with an unsettling slide guitar run that only grows more and more unhinged as this buoyant song from 2017's Split with Stunning reaches peak elastic brutality. The song's chorus pounds the willing audience into submission while crazed guitar leads alternate with disjointed syncopation as the Will to Disappear strangulates every twist and turn from this standout track. An extended intro swirls like a Halloween wind before Beyond the Dirt officially gets underway. Leading with a decidedly Melvins-esque stroll, Beyond the Dirt slowly marshals behind a deceptively benign bass lull and a guitar wind as the song gains its stride. Walls of bubbling noise wash over the crowd as serpentine guitar runs encircle the slow pounding rhythm on this incessantly rolling number from Negative Noise. At just under 8 minutes, Beyond the Dirt provides a long and hypnotic cooldown from the band's frenzied set. Not content to end on such low-key entrancement, the band has one final sneak attack left for the Pittsburgh audience. Emerging from Beyond the Dirt's slow drawdown, the final sonic exorcism of the night begins with another round of thank yous from Child Bite to their fellow bands and the fans in attendance before the frenetic expulsion of Still Fucked Up After All These Years careens through the darkened confines of the club cafe. Sharp-pitched guitar histrionics and maddening riff descents inject a disorienting melange of sonic joy to the strident affront of Still Fucked Up After All These Years. Insistent propulsion distorts into the ether as Child Bite's music twists, turns, surges, and collapses in an unremitting frenzy, while shattering cascades of Arctic treble from Jeremy Wan's guitar descend into maddening riff excavations of the most schizophrenic order. Sean Clancy's steadfast basswork supplies an elastic foundation for his bandmates to rant and rave with ease. As the band springs with a sinewy lurch from song to song, Child Bite roll through their 35-minute set under the rampaging rhythm of Shane Hochstetler. All the while, Sean Knight plays the maniacal ringmaster as the band's peculiar squonk, razor's edge intensity, and sonic insanity combine in a dizzying delirium. Delivering an always entertaining, uniquely engrossing show, Detroit's Child Bite pay tribute to their city's illustrious 60-plus year history as a hotbed for uproarious and groundbreaking strains of rock and roll. With an unsettling hum and a clattering din, Unsane begin their set, launching into Factory from the band's latest slab of harsh grating heaviness, Sterilize. The band devastates from the onset. Hurtling bass bombs and a stringent guitar strafe battle for supremacy as Chris Spencer's insistent rasp offers no respite from the vitriolic scrape. Up next, Fix It, a single released in 2017 by Amphetamine Reptile Records, continues the band's barreling charge as Chris Spencer, Dave Caron, and Vincent Signorelli settle in for a night of New York's finest noise-infected rock. A clean-toned crawl initiates Against the Grain. A particularly squalling affair, Against the Grain deftly rages with an unsettled hostility, while gravitational shifting low end continues to permeate the air. Droning noise and drum clatter fill the time during breaks between songs. However, the chaotic respites are short-lived as Aberration from the band's latest release, 2017 Sterilize, batters from the stage. As acerbic and destructive as ever, Aberration settles in nicely with the band's outstanding catalog. Line on the Wall next begins a creeping crawl through Club Cafe's intimate confines. This 2007 track from the band's Vis Queen release offers up an acrid, paint-peeling assault from the legendary Unsane. Briefly silencing their instruments, the band's founding offender Chris Spencer greets the crowd and thanks Child Bite for touring with them, before lurching into the festering abrasion of No Reprieve, another loud and raucous sonic affront from 2017. We're Fucked, also from the band's latest release, next careens through the speakers with a hostile swing. A searing guitar refrain strangles to the surface before the utterly positive chorus arises once more to close the song. Performing 5 songs from Sterilize, Unsane's latest work, tonight, these songs prove every bit as corrosive and scathing as anything from their highly regarded history. Next on the agenda, Unsane veer into 1998's outstanding Occupational Hazard for a bludgeoning triptych of Committed, Over Me, and Sick. A brief interlude offers a quick turnaround as the band hurtles into Committed from Occupational Hazard. Forceful and crushing riffs pummel the masochistic audience into submission before a drum-driven intro collapses into Over Me. The band wrings every last gasping breath from the punishing Over Me before immediately driving the crowd into the mid-paced squall of Sick, the last victimizing song from '98's Occupational Hazard. Strangling riffs and relentlessly pounding drums harangue the crowd as Sick soon gives over to the 1993 classic Body Bomb. Brief martial rhythms arise to rally the band before descending into a reckless spree of auditory demolition. An atonal lead fleetingly screams from the sonic gnashing, but Body Bomb's feral brutality returns to ensure full annihilation as the song barrels to its end. 1995's Scattered, Smothered, and Covered offers up Empty Cartridge as the end of the set draws unfortunately near. Empty Cartridge affords each band member the opportunity to level the audience with their chosen instrumental weapon. Chris Spencer tears loose a ripping, noise-addled solo, Dave Caron's bass wreaking havoc like an exploding depth charge, and a quick drum breakdown from Vincent Signorelli showcases each member of this influential band. Showing continued love for Scattered, Smothered, and Covered, the band's breakout song Scrape blusters from the stage, a blistering track that alternately hits with a quick-paced smothering aggression and an inescapable gravitational pull. Scrape deploys an insidious punch that showcases the underlying appeal of the band's street-level sonic aggression. Upon thanking the crowd, Unsane turn their attention to the final song of the night, The Grind, from the most recent album, ending the night on an unsettled note as the slow-moving, catastrophic swarm of The Grind encircles the crowd with a latent, sinister edge. Subsuming all with its discordant pull, The Grind bulldozes the hordes with a claustrophobic gnash and wail conclusion that perfectly caps a career-spanning set from New York's abrasive noise rock experts Unsane. A bruising and unforgiving set follows from Unsane. With astringent inertia, the band showcase their masterful application of strangled melodic undertones and earth-scorching sonic abrasion. Chris Spencer's straightforward rasp and Dave Caron's forlorn shout trade off throughout the night, but the harried tone and strident insistence remain nerve-wracking throughout. Squalid aural diversions fill the brief moments between songs as Caron and Signorelli heighten the sense of impending dread wrought by Unsane's discordant musical exorcisms by providing a fetid and unrelenting roar. Covering a wide swath of the band's 30-year career, Unsane's set illustrates the band's unwavering dedication to scouring the abrasive corners of aggressive rock into paint-peeling perfection. From the band's early '90s ascension into the public consciousness with 1993's Body Bomb, through Committed, Over Me, and Sick from 1998's seminal Occupational Hazard, Unsane delves into their catalog to devastate the Pittsburgh crowd with 3 decades of street-scraping sonic pummel. The unceasing punches continue with abusive songs from the band's ongoing post-millennial journey. Their more recent oral coarseness is met with crowd approval as Against the Grain and Line on the Wall from 2007's Vis Queen, and a full 6 songs from 2017's Sterilize, not to forget Fix It, a single released the same year, only emphasize the band's continued productivity. Throw in a pair of Skull Grinders from 1998's Scattered, Smothered, and Covered, and you get a set where the pummeling present seamlessly mingles with the bristling scrape of the band's early years. Unfortunately, missing the highly lauded local act Microwaves, the rest of the show proved to be more than capable of wreaking musical destruction on an otherwise docile Thursday night in July. From the frantic rush of Detroit's reigning metallic punk freakazoid kings Child Bite to the influential street-scraping curb stomp of New York's Unsane, the unassuming backdrop of Club Cafe in Pittsburgh's South Side drinking district laid claim to one of the most exciting nights of forceful musical expression of the year.